I just would like to challenge the two gentlemen up there because since both of you guys are meat eaters, you haven't admitted to that. You keep saying that it's so difficult to be vegetarian, vegan, but I'm just curious, like, where are you getting this from? I mean, you're supposed to be this opposing side of saying that being a farmer, and I guess I don't see how this is a clear debate. I guess being here, I'm seem like you guys basically on the same side because you're saying that being a vegan and vegetarian is so difficult, but I would like some concrete evidence and explanation on where you get this from. Is it because you are in the farming industry and you feel like if you keep saying that you need these proteins and this and that and go to a doctor for this advisement? I'm just trying to see where you're getting this from because I don't see any clear connection to how you can say it's unhealthy.
All right, and just to be clear, was the debate was on whether we should eat less meat, not a complete veganism versus omnivorism. But anyway.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to advocate, is basically having less meat in your diet as a way to perhaps mitigate greenhouse gas effects. I'm not, and as far as vegetarianism, I think you can certainly be a vegetarian if you have a certain amount of not necessarily a vegan. There's a big difference between a vegan diet and a vegetarian diet that includes milk and cheese and that sort of thing. If you're a vegetarian and you have those things in your diet, you're certainly getting the proteins and a lot of the things that are derived from animal agriculture. But if you're a vegan, you don't include any of that in your diet. And I think that, I just don't know that that's really, I wouldn't want to go that way. I mean, I have not been convinced that that's really a satisfactory way to go. Plus the fact that emotionally I still like to eat ice cream.
And if you want, we can fight a little more, and maybe that'll help you understand that we are, opposing each other. But I don't know that that would gain anything. Certainly wouldn't me. I'm getting too old for that kind of thing. But what my advocacy here is that our society has developed, our culture has developed around the land use that has developed. That land use has developed because the farmers through the generations and over the last couple hundred years have learned how to maximize what you can get out of the soil that's there. What I'm saying is to reduce meat consumption overall as a requirement of society is going to require a much huger carbon impact on the culture, on the climate, because to force those soils to produce the types of foods to replace the meat is going to require so much more trucking, so much more artificial fertilizers, and so many other supplements to that soil, and to maintain it over a period of time, that you are doing more damage than good. Just like someone who eats meat should not try to force a vegan to eat meat, vegans should not be trying to convince everybody else to quit eating meat, thinking that that's going to save the climate. It's not going to happen.
And this is the big disagreement between us, because I really feel that it just purely from a scientific standpoint. I mean, as you go up the food chain, we know that as you go up the food chain, basically, it takes a certain amount of mass of food at a lower trophic level to go up to the next higher trophic level, which is basically going from plants to animals. And this is what this article I mentioned, it takes maybe 6 to 7 times as more land area to grow the same amount of protein as you would if you had animals. In other words, if you have animals and that takes 6 to 10 times as much land as if you just grew plants. So you could grow the same amount of plant protein, which we could eat, like beans and soy and other things. And certainly grains. I mean, the real grains are what nourish civilizations from the beginning. It's because grains like wheat and that sort of thing have a fairly high amount of protein in them. So I just think that's really the difference between us in terms of I'm not saying just eliminate eating meat, but I'm just saying that if we reduced it, we would certainly be putting less greenhouse gases in the atmosphere.